5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Understand this.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your damn hands together. Get ready to have your earlobes massaged by the one and only
Finesse Mitchell.
Yeah, we back. What's up, everybody? We are back one more time. It is Understand This, the podcast. My main man, Genie D's.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you been?
I'm good. It's hot, but we in here, the AC right now, so I'm good for now. I'm excited to do this podcast,
It is blazing outside, and it's about to be blazing inside. Want to know why? Because I love when I can get on the phone and say, yo, are you busy? And then even if they say yes, I can say, you lying, it's COVID. Nobody busy. And right about now, one of my good friends, I met him through work, and we connected, we clicked. You know what? You got that?
Yeah.
Play that.
Clay, I am the sun to your whole media universe. I mean, my ad revenue bring in just about everything you do to leverage your next move. I mean, you know it and I know it. $3 million a year.
I'll walk.
Music cue.
Music cue. He walks back up the stairs.
You just say $3 million?
Yeah,
He's in my
A year.
face.
with an expense account.
Yeah, so no, I know that you smoke marijuana. I didn't know that you upgraded to crack.
Call me a crackhead.
Drive. You are under contract,
My man?
And I have options at the expiration of that contract. Now, if you try to renege on those options,
You threatened
I
me.
will see to it personally that they have to wheel you into the radio booth. Here's one of those nice little special ramps. You see, that's what they do for people in wheelchairs. Then we have to change the name of the show to DJ Broken Legs, No Legs.
Black on
Can't
black
walk,
crime.
Can't talk morning show.
Clay, I am the sun.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pooch Hall.
Hey, yo!
What's up, Pooch? Did you forget about that moment in TV history, my brother?
Yo, Finesse, bro. Nah, man, it was just funny bringing that back, bro, for us to be able to throw that scene down, dog. I'm so happy to be here. Jeannie, what up, Playboy?
What's up, brother?
Yeah.
That was our first professional scene working together.
Yeah.
I'm still a huge fan. Big fan of the game, of course.
Thank you.
Pooch does his thing on Ray Donovan. He did it. He's a scene stealer and jumping the broom. I mean, like, we got a movie star, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
a
you,
big
man.
TV star.
I appreciate
But
that.
That was our first time working together. And I told the director of that film,
Craig Ross.
Craig, I said, Craig, I'm gonna say what I want to say. So if I change this script, don't waste my time, bro. I'm gonna say what I want to say. Could you please let Pooch know that I'm gonna say what I want to say? And I'm sure, he's an OG. He gonna be able to get in where he get in. And so I remember our first scene, and we ran through it, and you was like, you supposed to say that? And I remember Craig was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Pooch, he's gonna say what he wants to say. And then we did the scene again, Jeannie. I don't even think we had to do it again after that.
It was a one-take, Jake.
Bro, when he came back up them steps, homie was pissed for real. Got up in my face.
He had that look.
He had that look, and I was convinced. And so that movie was called Media, and it was on TV One. Shout out to Kathy Hughes.
Yep.
And Kathy Hughes had gold with that cast, because I believe everybody did it for the Lolo, but it was like the who's who of people who wouldn't do a Tyler Perry film. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No,
We love you, Tyler.
No, we love you, Tyler. We definitely love you right
for
now,
sure.
my brother. But yeah, man, it was a dope cast, and I love that scene, and I actually love the experience. So when she was talking about, hey, we might make it a series, then the business of it got in the way, and before you know it, everybody was like, nah, I can't do it for Doritos.
I thought it was Cheetos.
I was off
Hot
of Doritos. I was off of Doritos.
It was first and foremost like just because I seen you pop up in like Saturday Night Live and certain comedy shows. Like I'm real good friends with D-Ray, and I would see you pop up, and I was just like, "It's Finesse. Is that Finesse. It's like, is that his real name? Like Finesse?
Right.
But then I'd be like, you know what? Let me fall back because people like Pooch. Is
Yeah.
that Pooch's real name? So I just think, you know, us as black men and as talented black men and just culturally, you know, the things that make us us is just what it is, and we go with that. You know what I mean? Because I think when you start to try to change to form a bill that you think that they want, that's when you start messing up. So I think that when we are true to ourselves, it allows our best work and our best selves to come through. And, you know, when we got to work like, bro, we laugh so much.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of those things to where, you know, it's not work when you love what you do. And that's one of the things that my father said growing up to me. He said, boy, when you find a job that you love, you'll never work another day in your life. Mark my words. And so
He was from South?
yeah, my dad's from Florida.
Okay.
So you know, I'd be like, yeah. But it wasn't until I got into the entertainment business that I understood what he meant, because, you know, acting is something that we've always done, but we never knew how to go about it professionally, to where all of a sudden you're getting paid to become almost like you're being paid to play cops and robbers, or like play with your friends and all that. You're like, I'm getting paid for this. Like, this isn't work.
The simple thing is that we're getting paid to do what we love.
Facts.
Exactly what he said.
Facts. So working,
We would
on
do it for
media-
free.
Yeah.
We would.
And I remember one time I said that. I said, man, I'll go be in a Star Wars movie for free.
And it was like, oh, good to know. He just lowered his quote. Tell Donald Glover we don't need him. We have a new Lando Calrissian.
But yeah, media was a project that I really wanted to see through. I mean, in the project, sorry, spoiler alert for people who haven't seen it, I die in the first act in the film. And, you know, when Mrs. Hughes was like, it was so good that they wanted to take it to TV One to become a series. And I know I was on Ray Donovan at the time, so we're gonna make that work.
I remember that.
It was a strong possibility. And then, like you said, you know, sometimes situations, you know, there's a lot of people who have certain demands, or there's certain, you know, yellow tapes or red tapes that you have to get cleared or whatever. So there was a lot that went into it that it just didn't work out in our favor. But
It was a big ensemble cast, and people had different quotes. And, you know, if you wanted a quality show, I felt like we premiered on the wrong day for the movie. But as far as it becoming a series, tell the prequel to the story and let's get it. You know what I'm saying? You want to watch the movie, watch the movie. Now, because you killed off Pooch Hall's character and Finesse Mitchell's character in the movie, that means, all right, we got to go to 5 years before, and then we just tell the story from there. And then, you know, by the time we get ready to do the finale, everybody gets deaded and no problem. Because they were like, they kept saying, how are we going to bring you back? But we got to bring you back. So here's an idea we're pitching. You're your twin brother. I said, no. No. You shot me in the head. There is no guy that's going to look exactly like me that's going to show up the next day, and all of a sudden he's an intricate role in this story. So no. But, I mean, it's simple. Just write it like, 5 years ago, the whole media empire was just getting off of the ground. And start there.
Right.
And then next thing I know, nobody agreed to the loot, and then it just went away. But
yeah, man, like I heard all types of different things, and as far as why it didn't go, and
she should bring it back. She should bring it back, but she owns it. It doesn't have to be on TV One. I'm just saying she should bring it back. Pitch it to Fox. Pitch it to anybody. But
that's to Netflix.
Pitch it to Netflix.
You know,
I'm about to email Kathy Hughes.
Bruh, to be honest with you, I think us as a people, you know, we have a moment right now where,
we Wakanda hot.
Yeah. We have a moment right now where we can, I don't want to say take advantage, because that seems a little like take advantage. Like, no, we have a moment now where we are given a opportunity to present our stuff, and what they're now starting to, and when I say they, I say,
The white man.
Just the industry. Finesse Mitchell.
Don't let me. That was me, everybody. That was
Finesse
me.
Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen.
That was Finesse.
He'll be here all week. No, I think that we have an opportunity to where we can present our stuff without like tensing up, hoping that they'll like it. Right. We got some fire stuff, and there's some stuff that may need some work. And I think where media is concerned, you just do it to where we make sure it's hot because there's no pressure. There's no pressure. We just make it great. But you also, have to spend the money to get the right writers to really flush something out to really make it dope. Because us as black people, we'll pick something apart in a second.
Right.
Especially if it's not real.
I wouldn't say that. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Did you read your own script? We'll talk wild. Don't let us have some credits and a little money in the bank because we'll talk wild. Yeah. If we feeling like we're slighted or we're just not happy. Only because I've seen it time and time again where other actors get to do that. Yeah. And if it's a professional game and everybody's being treated the same, then why don't we get to say, can I have more than one scene?
Right.
Because I have always been the black guy in a bunch of shows where I've never minded because a check was a check. But then when you're sitting in your trailer all day and then it's just to do that scene and then you're like, okay. And then the next week is just to do a scene and you're like, okay. And then the next week you're like, wait a minute. I want to play.
Right.
Put me in the game, coach.
Right.
Like I want to play. I guarantee you I can build a fan base and we can develop this character where people will be like, I like this. I don't want to take over, but don't just bring me in to be like, hey, everybody good? And then I'll leave.
And it's done. And
it's done a lot out here.
It's done a lot out here. And I want to compound on what you're saying because my father, I always quote my dad because my dad gave me a lot of gems. He's like, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. So my
dad was like, cocaine will kill you. No, but go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
when you start working, and this is for in anything you do, when you start working at something more than one time, you start figuring ways to get better. What can I do to make this as great as possible? I found a gem that I think could be beneficial to the scene or to my character. And you approach the powers that be with, like, in a way, a legit pitch that makes sense. Because let me tell you something out there, all the people who are trying to become aspiring actors or musicians or entertainers or just people who want to work in the regular world, if people see that you're not confident in yourself to where you're pitching something or you're trying to go in and get a job, if they see that you're not confident, they'll be like, next, because they have to be able to see that confidence to where they're going to make an investment in you to where it's like, well, if the idea was kind of crazy, whatever, it didn't matter because he believed it or she believed it in a way that give her something or give him something that can make sense or that will work. And I'd love to see where they go. And I think that it's having that confidence within yourself, but doing the research, doing the work to say, you know what, I'm going to go to my producer. I'm going to go to this boss. I'm going to go to this company and say, hey, I want to work here. I want to work more. I would love an opportunity. And here's how I see it, that you paint the vision for them with your confidence to where they're like, wow, I see it too. Now, sometimes it may not work based off of, we never know what someone else is going through or what's on their, if they have an agenda or if you catch them on a bad day. But at least you can say, I tried, and you know what? I'm going to go to a different person, or let me go to, instead of going to Pepsi, you're going to go to Coke if they don't want to hire you or whatever. But I think in my experience is doing the work and helping them see the vision in what you're trying to portray in a sense to where you're like, you know what? I think my character would do this, that, and the third. And in addition to what, what's happening, as opposed to like, you know what? I want to do more. Oh, okay. So what are your thoughts? I don't know. You guys like write something or whatever. Because here's the thing. Sometimes if they haven't thought of it and you're coming to them just with a demand, it may just seem like, oh, he's just or she's just greedy or selfish, or she doesn't like what he or she's doing. It can go a different way. But if you're saying, hey, I have an idea that I think could work, blah, 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 and this is kind of what I came up with. Because a lot of people, especially in the creative side, do respect when you put that work in and you thought something through, especially off of something that they originally created.
Right.
You know what I mean? And also, sometimes people be like, no, not right now, kid, you're bothering me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Have a concise pitch. If it's your project, do all the work. Think of everything and every question that they're going to ask you in that room.
Facts.
And get around somebody who's going to throw out some questions that you didn't even know that they were going to ask. That's before you pitch. And if you're a part of a show that already exists and you're just a cog in the wheel, then when you don't just go and say, I need more lines.
Right.
You have to go with like a storyline and give them an idea of where your character can go. Because a lot of times they just wrote that character and just said, okay, 30s, African American, and
he's funny.
And he dates this person, or he's the son of this person.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, what's after that? No, we're just trying to diversify the cast. But you're like, okay, so, but in like show 7, well, we haven't really thought about that. So your character don't even have no story arc.
Right.
And so once you start to think of it yourself, it's okay to pitch it, but you gotta also, it's also a slippery slope in who's the writer and who's the executive producer, but at least have it thought out. Don't just ever say, Jeannie, just don't ever show up and be like, I need more lines.
Right.
I'm not happy. Give them an idea where they can say, okay, I know where to go with this.
Because that can go a different way.
It can definitely go a different way.
It can go.
I told Cameron Crowe one day on Roadies on Showtime, hey man, so I feel like I should be able to say da 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 da, and we should say this. And he was like, oh, that's a great idea. I wasn't in the next 2 shows.
Wow.
I was like, wait a minute.
Wow.
Okay.
But it could have been. It could have been.
I wasn't probably going to be in the next 2 shows anyway. Those scripts are already written, but sometimes as an actor, we can't help but think, did I mess up?
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to think, I think I messed up. I think I shouldn't have kept my mouth shut.
Well, that's why I was saying having the confidence in yourself in a sense to where, you know what, number one, I'm going to be the best person that I can be for this character in this project. And as you start to build the relationships and you start building your character, you get more comfortable. And then you realize who you can talk to or who you may you want to approach with an idea. But, you got to have it flushed out. But it's definitely building that rapport with the powers that be. But, coming from a place of gratitude as far as like, I'm so thankful to be here. I was wondering, what's the plan or your thoughts on my character? Oh, well, and they give you something to where you can kind of figure out they haven't really thought of that. Say, well, I was wondering if I could come up with some stuff that could be, if I could kind of throw some stuff and some ideas out there. And for the most part, they're probably like, sure. And a lot of times if they do say that, they're probably saying it with, on certain people not doing that or following through. But, you follow through and you say, hey, I'd love to check it out or, what have you. In a way, I feel we tend to, especially before, I would be so more thinking about upsetting someone or I don't want to rock the boat as opposed to this idea I feel I want to share is actually could do it could be beneficial or it could be an asset. And think from the glass half full as opposed to the glass half empty. And so, and not everyone's going to agree, not everyone's going to like you, not everyone's going to want to see you shine. But you have to have that light to begin with to know that no matter what they say or do, I'm still going to shine. I'm still going to be me. And I feel within the industry, because a lot of people on the outside, Finesse, will look at us on the inside and be like, you guys have it made. It must be so dope. I wish I was you. I wish I could be there. And I'm like, well, be careful what you wish for because it's still work. It still requires a strong mindset. And, not everyone's going to like you. And with that being said, you don't give your power away by not really understanding or knowing what someone's going through or what they're thinking, because like what you were saying before, when you were in those 2 episodes, you automatically think it's you.
Me, I'll never say anything again.
It's
I'll
like
never question or kick the tire again. You know what I mean?
But what I had to learn was we never know what they're going through or what is the plan, to where in a way it's like I can't give my power away because I'm thinking I'm playing with their money. No, I'm playing with house money, because for me to be here, I'm helping them out. I'm helping them out. And that's the confidence that I feel sometimes we tend to let go when we get in here, because we think that, especially like in the past, man, I'm so happy to be here, and da-da-da-da. And the first sign of something not going in a way that we feel it should go, or we think it should happen, and it doesn't, you're like, what the hell? Like, what did I do? Oh, man, he don't like me. He's like, no. I never stopped to say, hey, man, I was hired for this. I'm really thankful to be here. I tried to show or tried to share. They didn't want it. Hey, you know what? That's not my problem. That's whatever they got going on, whatever. And then maybe I can take the idea, spin it, or pitch it to someone else. And all of a sudden, me being a guest star today, I got my own show now based off of like me taking an idea off of this and going to someone who really wanted to have, was looking for an idea or really want to invest. You see what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like, I don't give my power away, especially in Hollywood, because there's so many moving parts and so many people and decision makers and people having to answer to this one and egos and all that, to where I'd say, you know what? Let me make sure I am the best person for me and for my family, to where if they aren't able to see my light, hey, you know what? They have glasses on and they want to keep them on, so that's on them. Right. I'm still going to shine. They're lost. You know what I mean? Was the game your first big role? Yes. Well, no. Prior to that, what really started for me was when the porn. No, not the porn. Not the porn videos, but the magazines. I mean, you might see something out there where I showed too much skin, but. Because you remember porno mags used to be real big. Yeah. Sneaking out in the woods. I'm like, yo, I found my dad's porn mag. Come over. Bro, the first time I found a Playboy in my crib, I was just like, what? I mean, playing in the attic. I still remember playing in the attic. Hit a box, saw some magazines, and I saw the Jet and the Ebony, and then all of a sudden I saw a white girl, and I was like, who's this white girl? And then I pulled out the magazine, and her titties was out. I was like, what is Playboy? It was so funny that you said the woods. We had woods behind our house, Jeannie. From Atlanta, we had woods behind our house. Bro, I took that magazine under my shirt with my next door neighbor, my boy, Joe Brown. What up, Joe? And went straight to the woods. Said, I got something to show you. Pulled out the magazine. Bro, we looked at every page 20 times, and we was just, and then he was like, is there another one? And I was like, I didn't even think to look. I was so busy trying to like sneak one magazine. I was like, I got to go back and see if there's more. Bro, because like, growing up, you spend a lot of time like playing, hide and seek in the woods, or playing war, or just in the woods. We used to light matches in the woods. Yeah, fireworks, the whole nine. Because being from the East Coast, because like I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts, and like tons of wooded areas. Like out here in California. That's that accent? The like people in California, you either have to have a huge like estate where you see like more than like 20 trees on a property, or a lot of green. We have woods and trails, like not hiking trails. We got like woods where you got to cut through the woods to get to school type stuff and all that. And I just remember playing in the woods a lot, where there would be like a place where either somebody was hanging out, or a crate or a box, or just a little messy area. And there'd be like all types of old porno mags. And then we didn't touch them at first with our hands, because, yo, man, we don't know where their hands been. And we touch it with a stick, but then we like flipping the pages I just remember flipping the pages with a stick. And because I was just like, nah, it looks real nasty, because like it rains a lot back east. So the papers were really real, like, wrinkly. So I'm not even thinking it's rain. I'm thinking it was somebody doing something to themselves and then touching the books and then making it real wrinkly, like, you know, when you get out of a tub. But
kind of crusty.
Yeah, but once that happened for me, when I was like, you know what, I don't think this porno stuff's gonna work for me. So let me try some real acting and real modeling. Yeah, man, and shout out to the people out in that industry who, like, that's their thing. I'm not trying to bash y'all or whatever. I know you guys make a living out of it, and the porn industry has kicked off, like, it went up like 50% in the.
I believe it.
You know, out there.
I
don't know how I know this. Maybe, you know.
Yeah, well, you know how you know.
Yeah.
You know. But, what you got stock in. Anyway.
Man, but as far as the game, going back to your question about the game, and shout out to Netflix and Strong Black Lead for premiering the game.
Get at it. Yes, absolutely. August 15th.
It came out.
We
premiered August 15th.
There's a whole new generation that's about to learn Derwin James.
I mean, my Instagram, I am Pooch Hall on Instagram, and I am _Pooch Hall on Twitter is just blowing up from people like, oh my God, like, this is so funny. Like, when did you do this? And so the game is that TV show, like a Martin or Family Matters or even Cosby.
How many seasons?
We did. So I was on there for the first 6. So I did 6.
And how many episodes a season?
I think they did 8 or 9. It was 22. Yeah, so
6 years, 22 shows. You're rich.
But the first 3 seasons of the game, was on the CW, and then we got canceled. And then, with the grace of God and the support and the love from the fans, we came back and we went to BET. And then when we went to BET, it was like,
which was better? Which was more love? Which was better?
Which God, the love from BET. And
did you get to renegotiate?
Yeah, well, we renegotiated. Excuse me, we renegotiated when we went to BET because it was like a whole new deal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And just instant love.
Well, here's the thing: when the game came back, I was on another show called Accidentally on Purpose with Jenna Elfman, and so we made a deal. And then Accidentally on Purpose got canceled. Jenna Elfman, matter of fact, was pregnant for real, which they played into the series. And she's so dope, man. Jenna, she was so dope. It was on CBS, and we got canceled. And then I just immediately went over to the game, and then we just took off. And BET got behind the show so much that when we were on the CW, it was us and Everybody Hates Chris, but Everybody Hates Chris had the buses, billboards, like the bus stops, like Everybody Hates Chris was everywhere, and we didn't have any billboards or anything, and we were like, "What's the story?" Like, cats don't really know about the game like that, so we pushed through. We did 3 seasons. We got canceled. Then we went to BET. And I started back east. I started in New York, and so I remember I used to ride my bike through New York, like Times Square, and I used to say, one day I'm gonna have a billboard out here, and da. Yo, we got on the game on BET, and we had like a billboard in Times Square that was above Toys R Us. Yo, fam, dude, I like teared up, dog, because it's like part of like what I was saying about staying positive. It's like, you put out that positive energy, like positive things happen to you. And I'm not talking about positive energy with the intent on, I hope something happens for me. It's like, yo, man, staying in a good place and putting that positive energy, you get positive energy in return.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Finesse Mitchell. Listen, I got a brand new YouTube channel. Well, it's not brand new, but it's new to me because I'm actually going to put stuff on it this time. So go by YouTube, type in my name, hit subscribe, and wait for my original content to drop. I got comedy videos already on there. I know you like stand-up comedy, and I got my podcast, Understand This. So go to YouTube and hit subscribe. Peace.
I was like, yo, it's happening.
Right.
And then I was still sad. because
bro,
I missed the game, bro.
I promise you I was just about to just say, But were you happy? Are you happy? And more importantly, especially for actors, and I mean, you know, my original crew of my first break was SNL, but watching so many of my colleagues just take the frick off, you know, no matter how many seasons they did, they were just like, pew. And then it was just like, oh, I'm off the show? Okay. And I was like, you know what? I better find a happiness. I was telling Shantae Moore that it was more important for me to find love and happiness outside of the business.
Facts.
Because if I didn't, I was going to be the dude in the street, just always looking for somebody to be next to. Just that, oh, you know, who's the body for tonight? Who's the warm body for tonight? And then let me deal with me being on a show and not having as many scenes as I think I should have, or me just being the black person on a show, or me not having a show at all. Because it goes from I wish I had a show to then when you get the show, you're like, this is my dressing room. This is my dressing room. And then it goes to this. I only have one scene. But when 2 months ago, I was just like, man, if I could just book something. And I think that is the psyche of every actor, male or female. When you get something, you start looking for things to complain about versus a week ago, you was just saying, if I could just get something.
Well,
That part.
And it messes with you. And whatever your vices are, my brother, they will start to tap you on the shoulder like, you know what? Nobody respecting you. Nobody respect your gangster.
Bro.
Nobody is like showing you that love you once got on a different platform or on a different show. These people taking you for, and before you know it, you said, well, let me just take this check and let me show up for work. But I am the unhappiest I have been in a long time, and I'm on TV.
And you almost in a way, you start having doubts, resentments towards like somebody who hasn't done anything to you, but you guys
You mad at your agent. Why did you give me this audition that I booked?
Fam.
Why did you put me in this situation where I know I said I needed an audition on a show because I was tired of doing black stuff? I used to talk like that, hey man, I can't do black stuff. I wanted like,
yo, let me tell you something, homie. Let me tell you something, bro. What happened for me was I think I was really hurt when I left the game and it didn't work itself out like certain people said it was supposed to. And I was like, wait a second, you know, but white people do 2 shows and everybody's cool with it. Like, why is this a problem now?
right,
I didn't and I didn't do anything wrong.
right.
That's where I got my first taste of Hollywood was when the first sign, like I was saying earlier, when you give your power away, all of a sudden you become weak. What happens if you give your power away? You become weak. And then all of a sudden you're relying on someone else to make you happy or for them to do the creativity, or all of a sudden I don't really have to work anymore. I'm kind of like, I'm just here. And what I failed to recognize is that how the transition had happened was I had worked to a place where now I'm on this working with Oscar award-winning actors and writers and being okay with where I was at. But I was still looking
Back
there. I'm like
they having fun over there.
what?
I was the man over there.
Being the lead,
And over here,
and
I'm
financially,
yeah.
I was financially fat back there, and I went to the show to where I was like, okay, it's gonna happen, and then it kind of was because then I booked my first studio A-list movie, A Dog's Purpose, directed by Oscar Award nominee Lasse Hallström. Directed it. It was it was based off of a New York Times bestseller, and it was turned into a movie. And then I was reoccurring on Suits.
Okay.
And then shortly after that,
TV One call.
no.
Media.
Before that,
Okay.
I booked Chuck.
Okay,
I booked
I
Chuck
remember that.
while playing Ali. And I'm like, yo. And then part of my own ego and like, yeah, y'all don't wanna like bring me back on the game? Well, I'm doing my thing.
Right.
But that's not the energy. That's not good energy.
Right.
That's not good energy to put out. And then all of a sudden, God said, I got you. All of a sudden, there was a scandal with the dogs. The movie didn't come out.
Mm-hmm.
It got no release. It got no like big release how it was supposed. They were talking about like it had Oscar contention, this like the first A Dog's Purpose.
Right.
And then Chuck, they didn't push Chuck. I'm like, I'm playing Muhammad Ali, guys. Like,
Right.
what are you? The powers that be, what are y'all not getting? And it's not even just necessarily about me, but like we're talking about having Ali in the film in such a pivotal character to this man's life that they spawned Rocky and based Apollo Creed off of Muhammad Ali, not on ESPN. And I'm friends with Max Kellerman and Marcellus Wiley and a lot of boxers. I really boxed. And I was like, and I was like, Leah, what's going on, dog? Like, and he killed it. I'm like, I couldn't understand it. And then the movie didn't come out. And then I felt like my character wasn't being developed on Ray Donovan. Bro, I went to a dark place. And then I'm not on the game. Not only I'm not on the game, I was like, I went.
Y'all booked Brandy?
No, Brandy,
just
Brandy,
kidding.
my people.
That's what I'm just kidding.
But you start doubting yourself. And then I gave my power away to things that were out of my control to where it went dark. It went dark. And when I mean it went dark, it was just like, start drinking.
Okay.
And that, when you start to try to self-medicate, you now enhance all those feelings times 10.
Right.
And then when you come back to reality, them problems are still there. But now your eyes are open bigger to them. So now the problem that could have been a small problem that could have gotten handled, to you, it looks massive.
Right.
So you got to drink more,
Right.
numb it. And I really appreciate what you said earlier about the light that I had. A lot of other people see my light. And then instead of me not staying close to the people who see my light, I'm more worried about the ones who aren't seeing it.
Right.
Not thinking, hey, they got their own issues to be worried about
Right.
how dim Pooch Hall's light is or whatever. And that was just my own ego and self-pity to where, and here's the thing, I'm still on Ray killing.
Right.
I was just
about to say you're still working, but you're not happy.
I'm not happy. And that was something that I had to work through.
Let me say this to you, Pooch. Maybe this was the purpose of the day of us connecting, because me and Jeannie always had these conversations where I say that was the purpose of the day. Ooh. And we both know it in that moment. And this came from my wife, because one day I'm sitting in the dark at the crib during COVID. Everybody got a reason to feel depressed or a little bluish in this COVID time. But she was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "What's up?" She's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "This person didn't do this. This person did that." And she said, "Finesse, stop knocking on closed doors. There are so many doors that if you keep turning knobs, walk through the door that's open. You still trying to knock on a locked door. Who cares about the party that's going on that other side of that door? Who cares how loud they are? You are the party when you show up. So just walk through the open door and make that the new party. And reach out to friends who are more concerned about how are you right now versus what have you booked or what are you working on." And I looked at her and I said, "Can we have sex?" And she said no. She said no. But I felt so, dang, babe, that's why I already knew that about myself. And that's why I said earlier, I said, career-wise, I can see the Kevin Hart's take off. I can see the Mike Epps take off. I can see all the people that were either peers below me or in front of me or way in, but at the end of the day, when I'm at the crib, am I like, I'm winning?
Yeah.
And I just realized, man, I'm so rich. May not be super wealthy, but I'm so rich because dang, as far as I know, we got our health, and I definitely know through the PPP loan, right. These bills are paid for the next 12 months. Yeah. So right now, man, let me enjoy my daughters, and then let me enjoy my friends who are either not in show business or who are just at that point, like, what y'all eating today? Because we made Impossible Burgers. Oh, I love Impossible Burgers.
Yeah.
And I stopped thinking about the business because that dope roll is not coming if you like, where's that dope roll? I ain't never booked nothing where I'm like, where is it? I deserve it. I've been in this game long enough. It ain't never came. The minute I'm outside with my daughters and Finesse, your agent's on the phone. Hey, what's up? Hey.
Yeah.
So listen, Fox is looking for somebody and da-da-da. Man, I ain't going. Finesse, just go.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing I booked.
Right.
And everything I've ever booked has always been that way.
Yeah.
And I just realized, I need to play with my daughters more often. Because every time I take my mind off this business, not only do I feel better as a person, it allows me, Pooch, to look back on my career. And it will allow me to say, not that I may have left the game too soon, but damn, I built that show. I was on the game. So, Ray Donovan, they didn't really know what they had. But damn it, I played BET, I played Showtime, I played it. And I just look at all my accomplishments and be
your wins.
Yo, I'm in show business and I'm a working actor. And everybody goes through it, bro. I have where's Julia Roberts right now? You think she up there saying, where's Pretty Woman 3? No. Cameron Diaz just left the business. And you can't tell me she wasn't the it girl. We can go on. What they do with Nick Cage? Where is he? Damn it.
I think he's got like 10 movies on Netflix, bro. He got like 10 movies on Netflix.
Nick Cage like pulls like the Samuel Jackson sometimes. Like, I will do the movie. Yeah.
You know what? My point is just saying, if you think black people don't get our fair shake, and a lot of times we don't, it's very easy to feel that way. Think about if you're like a dope ass white actor or actress, or especially a white female. Boy, your shelf life is just so quick. You know, they give you 3 or 4 films and then they out, and they replace you with somebody who looked just like you.
I was just saying that. I was like, man, what? I haven't seen Channing Tatum in anything really.
What did he do wrong?
I haven't seen Channing in anything. I mean, granted, you know, they're talking about him playing Gambit in the Marvel series or whatever. Hopefully when that comes out, you know, he'll kill it, because I'm a fan of Channing.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of cats who speak highly of him that I'm friends with. So that's you know, hopefully.
Where is Anthony Michael Hall? Weird Science was a classic.
Oh my God.
It was a classic.
I think the last movie he was in was The Dark Knight Rises? Or he was in one of them joints. But it's like, going to your point, man, it's like paying attention to the things that matter. You see what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. When you become selfish and it's about me, that's the energy that you, and the thing about it is you attract what you put out. And I remember when I was just so happy to be working on the game, and then when I got Chuck and I got A Dog's Purpose, I was just so happy with where I was at. And then what ends up happening in Hollywood, guys, is that, you know, certain obstacles and adversity is going to be thrown at you, which tests your might and or like your manhood or womanhood, to where like, okay, how am I going to deal with this? But if you don't know how to deal with it, you automatically will make a choice that might not be the right choice, whether you have negative people around you telling you what you want to hear, or it's like, you know what, you got to put that work in. And it's like, but I got to put that work in, because then when I think back, I think about how hard it was to get on and what I did and what I went through. Man, I slept in my car, bruh. I slept in my car. Okay. And I wasn't even anything close to what I'm doing now, to where, all of a sudden, and I've always been a worker and I've always went after what I wanted to do. I mean, I'm a Golden Glove winner. Everything.
So you can box for real.
I fight for real.
Okay.
But
you've been doing push-ups. Your arms are huge.
Well, yes, thank you. But here's the thing. When this green light gets clicked back on, I can't be like, I got to go to the gym. It's like, get ready. It's like,
right.
I got to
Stay
get ready
ready.
now. Yeah, you got to stay ready. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it, because, I'm not waiting for the opportunity. I'm going to get it. And part of going to get it is being mentally and physically fit, but mentally and physically happy. Not trying to look like how I look like on the game with abs, or look like Michael B and all that, especially if you don't have the right resources and all that. And what's for you is for you. And so I had to be okay with that, to where I had to stop living for them and live for me and my family, because at the end of the day, there was times where I did everything people asked me.
Right.
Everything you asked me to do, I did, and then some. And what did it get me?
Right.
What did it get me? Maybe it was my fault because maybe I was expecting something. But I did everything that was asked of me. And part of it is my fault because maybe I did it. Well, maybe they'll put me. Nah. What I learned prior to this was like, I'm going to go do this because it's what I was told to do. And you want to know something? It's cool because I'm getting better from it.
Right.
And that's the gift.
Right.
Anything else that happens after that's bonus.
Right.
So and going back to media, and shout out to my man Craig Ross, who I've worked with twice, and we're from the same hood. And that cat is super talented and super underrated. But here's the thing. He's happy. He has a beautiful family. Shout out to his wife, Karen, who just had a birthday. He's so talented and cool that he went and did his own thing. That's catching mad love.
Right.
And then he and I are working on something. But he'll get his shot when God's like, okay, it's your time.
Right.
And he's okay with that based off of the conversations that we've had and, where he's at. And so my message out there to everyone who's either aspiring, everyone right now is going through this COVID, and everyone still has dreams or whatever. You make sure that you're at peace with yourself and that you're keeping positive people around you, not allowing yourself to be validated or influenced by social media, because 90% of that shit is a lie.
And they'll turn on you.
It's a lie.
You're one entanglement away from everybody
my God.
turning on you. And then won't even allow you to go back to your authentic self as you try to heal. You didn't have to share the shit, but you did. But some of the comments I see sometimes, just when homie just now back to posting regular happy shit, it's like, see, this is what got the entanglement started. You up here fooling around trying to be happy or trying to, and I'm like, y'all people out here with these damn Twitter fingers and Instagram fingers thinking somebody can't get to y'all. Eventually they're gonna go on your page and find out everything about you and your family and and you gonna make the wrong post where you like, oh, this dude work at the CVS up here on Fairfax and Third, and somebody gonna roll up on you. But social media is a gift and a curse. I know a lot of actors who are addicted to comments and are addicted to the response to posts. As soon as they post, they're like 5 likes, 500 likes, 2,000 views. I've done it. I've spent 6 hours editing something, posted it, and gotten 1,000 views. And I have to realize I'm posting it because that's what I wanted to post, and it's not because of the comments or the response, because that social media will tear your psyche up when it just comes to, holy shit, I made a mistake on my own page. Yeah. Let alone letting somebody comment on your page and telling you what you should do or telling you what you should stick to, or you're not versed on this. What you were saying?
Then it becomes like systems analysis. People would call that a negative feedback loop. there's these feedback loops. There's positive ones and there's negative ones. In that case, when you're posting for the comments, you're reading the comments, that informs what you make next. And you make something else and you read those comments and that starts to change you. That's a negative feedback loop. You get caught in that and you're not really making art or like being your true self.
Right. You're trying to make something to get more of those type of comments that made you feel good.
There it is. Yeah.
And when you miss, you're like,
What the
well, damn,
hell?
this was the exact, almost the exact same thing. How come the same number of likes and views or whatever? And unless you're just a social media influencer, you can't just be posting shit waiting for the response that's going to make you feel better and make you feel talented and make you feel loved. And more importantly, make you feel loved. The people love me.
Facts.
The fans love me. My name still ring out in these streets.
When you have that clarity, fam, you have that clarity where you're able to see stuff you weren't able to see before. And I'm not even trying to get preachy, dude, because number one, I love working in this entertainment industry. This industry has done so much for me and has provided me with a big life, a beautiful life that I was able to provide for my family, give my kids stuff I didn't even close to having.
Right.
And I'm just trying to have more of an awareness because if you're not careful, it'll get you.
Right.
It'll get you.
What did I say, Jeannie? I said one thing that my father told me going into the business: the very thing that you're chasing could kill you.
Yep.
That was his biggest thing.
That part.
We find the happiness in what we do, and in the slow times and in the down times, sow a seed into your family. Man, be a yes man to your wife, whatever she needs, because she's been holding down the fort while you've been playing Hollywood. Sow into your kids, taking your kid to make sure he's playing basketball with the dopest basketball players so he can like get better, you know? And when you do that and you realize that's just the bare minimum of what makes you happy. Yeah. That's the minimum. This is easy. This is free.
Right.
I have access to them every day.
Right.
You start forgetting about the agents and the parts and the jobs. And sometimes when I say that security in your bank account of what you have and all that land you have and that pool you have and that gym you have, that's icing, bro. Because when you have a disagreement or argument, you can go to a separate part of the house versus people who are in a one bedroom.
Or don't know how to deal with the adversity or the fact that either they're being challenged or a lot of people don't like to be wrong. And it's okay. It's okay
It's all right.
It's okay to be wrong. That's how you learn. It's okay to not be okay. And in Hollywood, a lot of people is just like,
yeah,
how you doing? I'm great. And it's like a lot of times it's kind of like, hey man, so how you doing? Yeah, man, I just booked my third movie and like, I just bought a role. No, I said, how you doing? Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like I just moved into a.
Yeah.
They missed the point
because
they're programmed now that
they think that's what you want to hear.
Right.
And they think that's who they are and that's what defines them. The success in the business is what defines them and that's who they are. And that is not who you are. That person who found them Playboys and it was turning pages with a stick. The one who can quote everything that their father ever told them that helped them become a man. The person that takes their child to basketball practice. In between, hey, I hurt my arm playing basketball.
Yeah.
In between, hey, I got to take a class later. In between, hey, I got some projects coming up.
Yeah.
Separate all that stuff, my brother, and put it all in its proper lane and realize no lane is more important than the other lane. But if you had to choose family.
You have to.
Because when you do choose family, that phone rings and you're like, oh, yeah, a job? Oh, I forgot all about it. I was stressing about a job.
Right.
Man, people. Let me tell you something. We've been blessed in more than one way today. That's all I can tell you.
Hey.
Blessings on blessings on blessings.
The man, the myth, the legend. A storied career, and he's got so much more to do and so many more places to go. But I found out where he really need to go right now is not to the gym because you big enough. Man, Pooch Hall was with us today, everybody. Give it up for Pooch Hall. Rate, review, subscribe. We love the fact that each and every Monday we get to come to you and just share love. That's all we're doing. Sharing insight. Black lives do matter. Hey, it's that time. We want everybody to vote. want everybody to be conscious, and we not trying to say somebody is better than another group of people. We just trying to say, hey, level this playing field. Level this playing field and recognize that it's been unlevel for a very long time, and we not with that part no more. We got our own category on Amazon, baby. We coming up. I'm Finesse Mitchell. Gina D's.
Amen, brother. Great time, man.
Appreciate you. Understand this. We out.
Oh shit.